Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's IN.FORM Coaches webinar. My name is Shandy Hatfield, and I work here at Nature's Sunshine's home office. We have a fantastic topic for you today. We are going to talk all about accelerating success with exercise. And we've got a fabulous presenter that I'll introduce in just a minute. And as many of you know, exercise is it's so important, and it can really just be the difference from having some good success to really taking things to the next level. So we'll have some great tips to share with you today. Just as a reminder, as we go along, you can enter in any questions or comments that you have, either for me or for our presenter, and we'll make sure to take some time at the end of the webinar to answer those. Also in your panel, you've got a handout section, and I have a copy of today's slide handout. So it's got 3 slides to a page, and then also has a spot where you can take some notes. So if you'd like a copy of that, feel free to download that right from your panel. All right, and now I'm pleased to introduce today's speaker. We have got Nikki Reeg with us. She is joining us from Iowa. And Nikki has been an IN.FORM coach really since part of our test group from before IN.FORM even launched. And so she's had some really great experience. She really is very fitting for this topic of exercise today because she has been in the wellness field for 23 years. She's a certified personal trainer and fitness instructor through the American Council on Exercise. She's also an ACE certified clinical exercise specialist and a sports nutrition specialist. So she has some fantastic experience. She's also run multiple groups, and she's currently got a group going with 12 participants right now. And she actually is getting ready to start a new group that she is doing via webinar. So she's got some excellent experience with it to share with us today. Nikki, welcome. We're so glad to have you.
Thank you, Shandy. I'm glad to be here. It's an exciting topic.
Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the control over to you. And you should be able to start advancing those slides, and we'll turn it over to you.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. And I won't reiterate what Sandy said about myself, but I really enjoy the topic of exercise, since of course that's what I do for a living. So let's go ahead and just get started. First of all, I'm going to treat this webinar as if I'm teaching a class, but I'm going to go into each slide and what I do during the class to help you guys to maybe add things or to help enhance your class. And of course, we all go over the wins and learnings and what worked well the week before and what didn't. Success stories, and how do you feel. This part of IN.FORM, to me, we spend a lot of time on it actually because I get them involved, and I really do want everybody to be telling me all about their success stories or failures, and then we learn from those and get a lot of good discussion going on. And going forward here, so first of all, what are you made of? And the body composition. So this is the part where we talk about the scale and how it can measure the fat and the muscle, and that's what I really like about our BioTracker scale. I threw this slide in right here because I love it. It just goes to show you that your body composition, you can be 154 pounds. All these girls are 154 pounds, but they're all different body types. They're short from 5'1", I think the girl on the left is 5'1", to 5'10" on the right. And so they all weigh 154 pounds, and they all have a different body composition. So I just want to make sure that people understand that, and all of them are beautiful. Okay. All right, and then this slide. I use this BMI slide as a what not to do teaching moment. I really don't care for the body mass index scale. Basically, it's something that they came up with in the 19th century to basically tell people if they're healthy or not. So for us nowadays, I want my participants to gain muscle mass. So I know that on the BMI range scale, it actually says that I'm overweight, but I have a body fat percentage of 24%. So I know that I'm not, but it says that because I weigh more than the average person who is 5'2", which I'm probably only 5'1 1/4", but I'm going to say 5'2". So yeah, that's what I don't like about the BMI calculation. So we go into that and I tell them, don't ever, ever look at that, please. The next slide is the waist to hip ratio. And I really do like this one because it not only tells you, okay, you need to start getting healthy, but it also is you're at risk. It uses the word risk, and I really like that. If you're a female and your waist to hip ratio is 0.85, you know that you probably should start losing weight for your health. So you take the waist divided by the hip, and that's how you get that ratio. So we get everybody's measurements out, and we make sure that they can see, okay, well, this is not just about how we look, it's about our health. So going on here. Okay, and then basal metabolic rate. It's your body's expenditure of energy at rest along with the heat given off by your muscles. So that's the basic definition of the BMR. And what I really like to do for people is let them know that the BMR, the higher your BMR is, the more you're going to burn at rest. And that, what helps with that the most is exercise. 60 to 75% of the calories you burn is the basal metabolic rate. And I go into this in depth here. Right here, this is a slide that I put in. And staying alive is hard work, and everybody chuckles at that. But we want your body to work harder when it's at rest. We want it to be more efficient at rest. So in the beginning, a person who doesn't exercise, their BMR is about 60% of the calories burned each day. So on our previous slide, it said 60 to 75. Well, if you don't exercise, you're going to be that 60% person. So the more muscle mass you have, the more fuel you need to sustain your larger organs. So it's just a proven fact that we need more fuel, and we're going to burn brighter and harder and faster and stronger. So this is why the heavier and taller individuals have a higher BMR, because they have more body mass. But when you lose weight, your BMR actually ends up decreasing because you're losing that body mass and you require those fewer calories per day. But in contrast, when you gain the dense, heavier muscle, your BMR will actually increase. So if you lose the weight, and yay you've lost all your fat, and that's awesome, but you don't add the exercise piece in, you're probably not going to increase your body mass. So your basal metabolic rate is not going to increase, and you're not going to become that 75% person. We want to exercise, and then we want our body to burn more efficiently after that exercise. And without that exercise, you cannot get there. There's another thing that I teach my participants it's called post-exercise oxygen consumption. And what that basically is a person training their body to burn more at rest. That's this whole BMR we're talking about. So it's being in tune with your body and not just going out, and yes, it's great to go out and just move, okay? That's definitely where we want everyone to start. But you can actually train your heart rate, and with heart rate training, cardiovascular is what I'm talking about with the heart rate training, strength training, and even flexibility. It can all help us to burn more at rest and increase our basal metabolic rate. I spent a little bit of time on this because a lot of people don't understand what that is and how important that really is to changing your body composition. Okay, and I love, love, love this slide. Here on the left, obviously, we have a pound of fat. Here on the right, we have a pound of muscle. I can tell you right now which one I'm going to want. The muscle mass is why our genes fit us better, and we don't have that flub falling over your waistband. So that fat, everybody just, oh, we get gasps and oh my gosh, that's just disgusting. And I actually have tried to acquire the real thing of fat from a nurse friend of mine, but they're kind of expensive. So the slide does its job. Um, Muscle versus fat, and we just saw visually that the winner is muscle. So this is another huge thing to me, and I am a clinical exercise specialist. So what I do with that is I help the elderly and special populations. So anybody who has had an injury, you have heart surgery, and you've gone through physical therapy, you can come to me. So to me, it's very, very important that as you age, you keep working with that muscle. So I've got some really cool things coming up here. So at age 60, you still weigh the same, but you've lost 15% of your bone mass and 15% of the muscle mass. So basically, you're withering all of your engine away. So there is no more engine to burn the fuel. So the fuel is getting turned into fat. And it's just so important to maintain that muscle mass then. We know why our clothes don't fit well then, and you've gained 20 pounds of fat, that ugly yellow stuff we just saw. And here's one of my favorite pictures. And basically, the one on the right we can see is the person who doesn't use their muscles. And in the bottom where it says studies have found that only about 30% of the difference in strength between young adults and older adults is due to aging. So that means that the muscle loss we're seeing here is mostly the result of no strength training and little physical activity. So your couch potatoes and your older people who like to sit a lot, they will absolutely become those people that need a walker or a cane or at worst case scenario, a wheelchair. And I can't help myself, but when I see an elderly person in a wheelchair, I want to work with them so badly to see if that's the reason, you know, why are you in a wheelchair? Is it another reason, or is it because you have not used your muscles? And it just makes me kind of sad. So we can prevent this with exercise. Absolutely, hands down. My oldest client was 89 years old, and she was phenomenal. She had exercised her whole life, and she could balance on one leg for more than a minute. She could go up and down a step that I had for her. She lifted weights, and she was 89 years old. She did abdominal exercises better than some of my 20-something clients. So it is a proven fact that it actually can happen. You can work your muscles and have a better quality of life longer. Okay, so then we go into the other villains that can actually cause weight gain. Lack of sleep, unhealthy emotions, and too much stress. And here's where I, of course, like to point out that if you exercise, you're going to sleep better. You're going to have less unhealthy emotions because you're actually going to feel better about yourself, and not just because you look good, but because of little things called endorphins. So when we exercise, we release endorphins, and if they could bottle endorphins and sell them, everybody would want some. But lucky us, we don't have to worry about that because we actually have that naturally in our body. It's a God-given thing, and it's amazing. So when you do exercise as well, it's actually one of the best stress busters too. So I always like to tie in that, okay, yeah, these here are absolutely culprits of excess weight gain. And they, of course, again, can be changed with exercise. And I will say a little thing, though, about sleep. I have a lot of people ask me, well, I get up early in the morning to exercise, and so I'm getting less sleep because of it. And I go back and forth with myself on this one, but if you're only getting 5 or 6 hours of sleep because you want to get up and exercise every single day, you need to rethink your calendar, your schedule. So what I tell everybody is we absolutely need that sleep. That's when our body is recharging. Our liver, which changes our glucose into energy for us, for our muscles, our liver does a lot of regenerating at night. It's very, very, very important that we get that sleep. So if you don't get the sleep and you exercise, you could be just putting yourself in a downward spiral. So yes, sometimes I do think that you need sleep instead of exercise. And everybody goes, yay, I can sleep in tomorrow. And my whole response to that is, well, you really need to rethink your schedule. And a lot of people say, well, that's the only time that I get to exercise is when I wake up early. Okay, then maybe you need to go to bed earlier. So there's all kinds of things, and everybody's different, but I like to point that out to everybody. All right. Okay, there we go. Um, what I like about it was a little bit, I got to be patient. I'm not a very good patient person. Anyway, so exercise is, everybody asks me this question, what is the best type of exercise? Is kickboxing the best? Is um, CrossFit the best? What is the best that I can do? And I always tell them exactly this. So when I had the IN.FORM program come to me and I saw this exercise module and I saw this, I'm like, yes, we are on the same page. Because it doesn't matter what type of exercise you're doing as long as it's not contraindicated, so it's not bad for you, or it's the one that you're going to do. So if you sign up for CrossFit and you go the first day and they kill you and you're dying and you can't hardly move and you can't walk down the stairs, you're gonna be less likely to go back. So I always tell everyone that just like everything in life, moderation is the key. So no, we don't need to absolutely run ourselves into the ground with exercise either. So love, love, love that slide. Um, all right, so walking, we talk about walking, and it really is one of the absolute best ways that you can get exercise in. And there's a whole span of different variations of walking. You can walk, you can stroll, or you can power walk, and then you can end up running as well. So what I tell people with that is I do love walking, but I want you to make sure that you're getting your heart rate up. That was that heart rate training I was talking about in that post-exercise oxygen consumption. If we just stroll every day, we're not going to grow. So our walk needs to get our heart rate up. And I always challenge everyone to look into what their heart rate levels should be. And Google is an amazing thing. Google it, my age, where is my heart rate? Where should I have my heart rate if I want to build muscle mass? You can also train too far out of your heart rate range, and you can go too hard and too fast, like I was just talking about with the CrossFit. You can, and then it burns down your muscles. So your body has to have fuel, and if you're working too hard, it has to get fuel from somewhere. It will take it from the muscles, so you do have to have that moderation. Okay. Okay. What are some benefits of exercise? Well, I could probably go on for 3 days on this topic, and I think we already have. We actually talked about it in a couple slides ago with the better sleep, less unhealthy emotions, and the stress. So absolutely, it improves your chances of living longer and healthier. We saw that in that slide where the person's muscle mass was diminished. So this is hands down one of the best reasons to exercise. And it does help protect you from many diseases because it strengthens your immune system. Everything just becomes more efficient when you're exercising and you're using your muscles. Your heart gets stronger, which is very, very important. Heart disease, diabetes, diabesity, which is a new coined phrase since we in America have learned how to really eat unhealthy. So many, many diseases does this protect us from. And it relieves symptoms of depression and improves mood. And that's what I was talking about when I talked about the endorphins. Endorphins are phenomenal, and they really do happen. And I have some people say, well, I just still can't get into it, and it still doesn't feel good. And I'm like, it will. If you stick with it and you are consistent, you will build your muscle, and you will eventually, I would like to say, crave the exercise. You'll become addicted to it, which is what I strive for all my participants and my clients. I want them to become addicted. I want them to just absolutely realize the benefits of it and become addicted to that exercise. All right, and it improves the sleep, which we talked about, but then again, there's that happy medium between sleep and exercise. All right. Okay, so what's stopping you? Mostly it's you. And we talk about this for quite a while. And there are so many excuses that we all use. I don't have anywhere to exercise. I don't have enough time. I have no self-motivation. Exercise is boring. So all of those are, I'm going to air quote this, you can't see me, but valid excuses. So at the place where I teach, we offer fitness classes and yoga classes. So of course I put this slide in and I let everybody know where they can actually go to get a decent workout in. So that was in there. This is what I talk about. That's the first thing I say. Then they say, well, I can't make a 6 a.m. fitness class. And I say, well, do I have the thing for you? So we get into the whole, there are no excuses. Do you have 8 minutes a day? Most of them say yes. And if they don't, they're lying. Most of us have a smartphone, and even if you don't have a smartphone, some of these apps actually are websites as well, so you could do it on a computer. But I just put the top ones that I like for a lot of different reasons, really. 8Fit is the 8-minute one I was talking about. Do you have 8 minutes? 7 is another one where they list the exercises for you, and they have a coach that blows a whistle and you do the exercise, and they even have pictures to show you. It's just phenomenal. Circuit's another good one, and I love this Charity Miles. This is the coolest app, and it's relatively new. And what you can do with this is you can choose the charity of your choice, and the app will track your mileage, and then they will donate a certain amount to this charity for each mile that you run or walk. I can't think of a better motivation than giving to charity. I think that is phenomenal, and whoever came up with that is brilliant. And another one I really like to, just for my type A personality, is I like the Map My Run or Walk, and they even have Map My Dog Walk. They have all kinds of them, and it shows you your route and how fast you're going, your pace, and how many calories you burned, and you can even choose music to type in to the app. So I like that one as well. And then C25K is Couch to 5K. This is for all of those out there that really don't have anything wrong with their body, but they say they don't like running. And I have to admit that running is not my favorite either, but I can't argue with the effectiveness of running. So Couch to 5K starts you out absolutely at a beginner's pace, and it will get you up to that 5K. I have a little sister. I'm a mentor. We have Mentor Dubuque here, and our goal last year was to see how many 5Ks we could run. So I had her do the Couch to 5K, and we ended up running, I think, 6 5Ks last year. So you can do all kinds of things with that, and 5Ks are an awesome way to get back to the community as well. And also what I do, everybody asks me, so what do you do for your workout? Well, I got to tell you, I don't work myself out because I will say, oh, that's good, I'm done. Or I get bored, or there's too many options. I am guilty as charged. I need direction. I absolutely love the Daily Burn. It's an app that I have on my iPad, but you can also do it online. You can go to dailyburn.com and you can instant stream videos there. I love it. I use it daily. They have yoga and some stretching, and they even have a maternity line for expectant women, and all the way up to the heart rate training that I'm doing right now that is hardcore. So I love it. Gaiam also has an instant streaming app, and it has a lot of mind body with it as well. So if that's something, like if you have a really stressful life, that's a good one. And going back to the Daily Burn, the thing I really, really like about that is that if you don't have time, they have 15-minute short, quick workouts. So there's your I don't have time excuse, or I don't have anywhere to go excuse. I think it's $12 a month. There goes your money excuse. You're just burning through a lot of these excuses here, and in the end, you're left with, okay, I can do this, absolutely. And also, if you don't want to pay for an app, you can go to YouTube and just search for exercise videos. There's a ton of them out there. I would just be careful if you're starting a workout and you've never worked out before. You probably need to talk to your doctor. So if you've never exercised before, absolutely consult your doctor before you start any kind of exercise routine, anything at all. Even walking if you've never done anything before, because you really don't know how high to get your heart rate. So it's always just a good idea to go get a checkup. So that's one of my favorite slides, as you can see. And I think it's being slow again. Yep. Okay, so the SMART goals I absolutely love, and I use them for not only exercise week, but personally, and for our other goals like getting more sleep and getting vegetables and things like that. So we talk about this, and I do have everyone make a SMART goal and share it the next week with the class. But for this module, it does have to be exercise related. So maybe it is that they're going to get in 15 minutes of exercise every day, or maybe they're just going to start with 3 days a week, or maybe they're going to increase their time to 30 minutes a day from 20 minutes a day. So I don't mind baby steps with people. I know that our homework for this module, and we'll get to that, says 30 minutes of exercise every day, but if I have people that have not exercised before and they're going out and walking 15 minutes on their lunch break and they've never done that before, that is a win to me. And so it's really all about progress, not perfection. So anyway, the SMART goals, be specific. So when we go to our homework and we talk about what we're going to make our SMART goal, it has to be specific. Like I said, the 15 minutes, or that they're going to try a new exercise this week. It also has to be measurable, you know, the 15 minutes and how many push-ups in a minute, or whatever they decide to do, and attainable. It can't be that they're going to do squat jumps for a minute if they've never exercised. That's not going to happen. And so it really does need to be something they're going to be able to complete. And that goes right along, again, with realistic. It has to be realistic. You're not going to gain 3% muscle mass in 1 week. Probably not going to happen. Or 3 pounds of muscle, I should say, since our scale goes by pounds. But yeah, so it has to be realistic and then timely. So we go through all those when I'm talking to my participants. And it's 1 week I give them, and they have to come up with a SMART goal. And then we do have them held accountable the next week when we start, and we talk about our wins and our learnings and that. So I feel like the homework part of this is really important to keep them engaged. And we have a Facebook community, or a page, for all of our past and present IN.FORM participants. Judy and I do. And what I really like about that is that everybody who's also taken the IN.FORM class before can still kind of keep in touch with us. And there's some of that more accountability as well. So I like that everybody still stays in tune. So sometimes on those Facebook pages, I will post a challenge. In November, I did a challenge that I found on the web that was really fun, that you had to name what's your favorite piece of clothing to work out in, and it listed the workouts and what you had to do for each letter. So that was really cool. I think that's under the Sisterhood of the Skinny Jeans, Sisterhood of the Skinny Jeans. But that was a really fun one that I'd found, and I made up my own for December. So, and we did all Christmas themed, so that was kind of fun too. And then, since this is an exercise module, and we are talking about exercise, we do some exercise. So we go through this next slide here and tell people, you know, you're reaching your goal when you have more energy. And everybody says that. Everybody has said that. So, and health is improving. You're not getting colds as much anymore. Exercise actually starts being fun. Yay. And then I like to add addicting. And then eating has stabilized. You absolutely are going to want less sugar when your body is functioning at its best. and you've persevered through setbacks. There are going to be setbacks, and I tell everybody that when you're sick, you don't want to exercise. You get setback, but you keep going. You have to plug forward with those kinds of setbacks, and then you're staying focused. So those are some really good reasons to know. And let me go through. Okay, so we know the quiz. I'm going to kind of skim through this here because when I want to talk about the homework. Okay. All right, so when I teach, I have them read the module ahead of time as well because I want them to already know what I'm going to be talking about. And then this try and move 30 minutes each day and then set your SMART goal to help you stay on track. But what I do with the SMART goal is we spend a little time that class on that. So I kind of am one of those teachers that makes them do their homework in class a little bit, you know, that because it's important. That homework is so important. And I've had a lot of classes where I have the participants who have never exercised before, or they just can't stick with an exercise program. So those guys are really, really important to me. I really want to get them started on that. And then we go into, and during, let me go back, during our module on exercise, I don't end up talking the whole entire time. We get up and move. And so I'm a personal trainer, and I give everybody exercises, and I look at their form and that thing. So it might be kind of fun for you to bring, if you have a friend or a family member who is a personal trainer, to bring them in as a guest speaker. That would be kind of a cool thing to do for your IN.FORM group. But also, if that's not possible, some fun ideas are kind of like a musical chair. So instead of setting everybody up in rows or a semicircle, put their chairs in a circle, turn on the music, have them move around, and then take a chair away, have them sit when the music stops. You know musical chairs. And then the person at the end who's left gets to take home maybe a bottle of the Target Endurance, which is one of my favorite products, and we'll get to that. Or you give them a Solstick Energy a sample to take home. So those are some good things that you can do interactive with them. Get them moving in class so they're not, you know, drool's not coming out of the side of their mouth, and get them moving. And they have proven in grade schools where if you get your kids up and moving, they have a better performance. They're more likely to learn and have that attain that knowledge because they actually got up instead of sitting there the whole time. So I'm almost done here. I always want to talk at the end about the products that I'm taking because as a fitness professional, I get asked that question a lot. So what do you take? And does Nature's Sunshine have anything to help a person who wants to go the next level with their fitness or have help with their fitness? And I say absolutely. So I'm going to go over really quickly, and I don't have slides for this because I usually just show them the containers, the bottles, I bring them in. So the thing that I take that I really like is the CLA, and it supports lean muscle mass, and it helps your body burn fat. So it actually improves the process of breaking down the fat in the muscle cells for increased energy. So that whole basal metabolic rate thing, it actually helps set that in motion to increase. So I take that, and then I also take Target Endurance. I absolutely love Target Endurance. It's got a lot of different minerals, and sometimes when we're stressed or our body systems aren't working correctly, we can deplete our bodies of certain minerals, and we don't even realize it. So Target Endurance can put those specific exercise-related minerals back into your body so that you feel better when you're exercising, and it can actually help you with your recovery. Another thing that I like to take is Everflex because I know I'm going to get arthritis because my mother told me. No, she did tell me though. She's like, when I turned 40, everything started hurting, and partly because she didn't exercise, but we also have a history of it in my family. And so I love, 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 love Everflex. It is absolutely one of my favorite things, and I actually have 3 out of 6 of my clients. So half of my clients are taking Everflex. The other half doesn't need it yet. So, and they love it. Everybody does. So it really does help with the joints. My knees used to hurt when I walked down the stairs, and then this was before Nature's Sunshine, and I just thought it was a part of getting old and how much exercise I did, but I started taking the Everflex, and they don't hurt anymore when I walk down the stairs in the morning. It's kind of nice. And the last thing I take that's exercise related is the magnesium complex. Now, this can be other than exercise related as well, but of course, Nature Sunshine magnesium is just way more bioavailable and way more potent and pure than anything you can get anywhere else. But what it does is it promotes that musculoskeletal health, and it helps. It's kind of a natural muscle relaxer, so it'll help you to not pull a muscle maybe when you're working out. It'll help your muscles to stay healthier, and it'll help also with your flexibility. So those are the things that I take that are specifically for exercise, and I won't go into the other stuff I take since I'm running out of time. The last thing I like to leave everybody with is the KISS theory. And everybody laughs. I do deal with humor a lot. That's how I teach. But it's keep it simple, silly. So I don't say stupid because I don't want to call anybody stupid, but keep it simple, silly. So don't make it complicated. Don't stress out about it. Just get moving. So that's all I have, and I'm open for questions now.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nikki. That was a fantastic presentation, and I feel like I learned a lot myself. I always love listening to these webinars because they're always so great. We do have several questions that have come in, so let's actually address those now, I think, because I think now's the time. So let me just get my question little panel here. Okay. All right. So here's a question. This comes from Teresa. She said she has a new participant that is in her 70s with arthritis, and she is supposed to be using a cane when she walks to prevent falls. What type of exercise could she encourage her to pursue?
Sure, very good question. What's hard about that is that, you know, she's already to that point where she's got the muscular degeneration, and so she has to have the cane. But simple little things like I have had my 89-year-old client. I had her, one of her hardest exercise for her was sitting in a chair and standing back up and sitting down and standing up and sitting down and standing up. It really does help build those quadricep muscles, which will help a lot with walking. So that's my favorite exercise for the elderly, and it's so simple. But don't let it be a couch that you sink into or a recliner. It needs to be like a kitchen chair or even a folding chair. And make sure that she has something to hold on to, preferably not her cane either, something solid to hold on to, like maybe another chair or an arm rest of a couch or whatever it is, something to hold on to so that when she starts to do that. That's absolutely a good question. And I could talk forever about this, but I also like exercise bands for the elderly. You can get the super light tension, and you can Google exercise bands, and they'll give you exercises for to use with that exercise band. There's a ton of them that you can use because not just the lower body needs to be worked, the core needs to be worked, and that's another thing that she could probably do is some abdominal exercises. But I don't know her posture either. See, here I'm getting technical because I don't know the person and I want to help. But just have her start with the sit down and stand up, and maybe just walking across the room with her cane for try 10 minutes straight or 5 minutes straight, whatever that number is, just something very simple to keep her moving. I hope that helped.
I think that's awesome, because it really, what you're saying is there's something that everybody can do, no matter what level they're at, or there's always somewhere to start, even if it's as simple as getting up and jump from a chair.
Yep,
so
exactly.
Okay, so here's some other questions. Cynthia is wondering, can you use Solstick Revive instead of Everflex? Is that something that, I mean, are those two kind of interchangeable? I mean, they have some similar ingredients, I think, but
they do. They do, and that's a very good question, and that's something I forgot to say too, is that I do use Solstick Energy and Solstick Revive. I forgot to say that. I was looking at the supplements and not the drinks, but yeah, so the Solstick Revive is is something that I really do like, and I actually market that to my clients as an alternative to Gatorade, of course, and it's so much healthier and better. I have my stepson takes it after an exercise, after a football game, whatever. But some people don't like to drink those kinds of things, so you have your different people. Some people don't like taking supplements. Some people don't like taking the powdered drinks because they don't like the taste or whatever the reason may be. So they can be somewhat interchangeable. If you have someone who's not into taking supplements, there you go. You have a really good option with that Solstick Revive. So very, very good question. And yes, I think the two can be somewhat interchangeable. I just would never stop taking my Everflex because I know how severe my arthritis could be. So.
And I think that's one that if you wanted to take both, I don't think that would be an issue.
Oh no, no.
Yeah. And the
Again,
Solstick Revive, I think it's delicious. It's one of my very favorites. I love the Revive.
me too. I like to mix it with my Solstick Energy, actually. So 30 minutes before my workout, I'll mix a Solstick Revive and a Solstick Energy in a big old thing of water and drink that before and then, of course, during my exercise. And sometimes I have leftover for after, and it's my favorite. So yes, I
That's a
love it.
fantastic idea. I love that. Okay, so, all right, let's see. There are several other questions here. Okay, here is one. So someone has a participant that is very obese that has really bad knees. Where would be a good place for them to start?
Okay, and you're probably going to treat this severely obese person the same you would an elderly person because their pain that they're feeling in their joints is real. And that's probably what stopped them from exercising. I had a girl who was almost, well, I bet she was 450 pounds, and this was quite a few years ago. But we would do things like take little 5-pound weights, and we'd just walk across the room and punch one arm up at a time with those weights, and she'd get across the room and have to stop and breathe and sit down. So you take it doesn't matter where the person's level is, you have to start somewhere. So just getting them moving is the best thing to do. You can't do squats and lunges with those kinds of people, and even walking hurts. I know my client, walking hurt her, so we would do a little bit and then we would sit down in a chair and then do some things, so like we would do maybe some bicep curls as she's sitting in a chair, or just taking her leg straight out in front of her and lifting that leg up and down a couple times. She had so much weight on her leg that it was really hard work for her quadricep muscle. So that was a way to really work that quadricep muscle and not hurt the knees. So a lot of things that I did with her were seated motions because like you said, that person's knees really hurt them. So chair exercises are absolutely phenomenal for people who have knee pain, arthritis, or trouble walking. So those are some things, and there's a bunch of other things, but that's where I would start.
Awesome. No, I think that's some great advice. And also we had, Jenna has added just an additional comment, is she said that one exercise she heard that is great for people that can't do any impact type training is to do snow angels lying on the floor. Have you heard anything about that?
You know, no, I haven't, but what a great idea. That sounds fun, as long as the floor is
Yeah,
clean.
that sounded awesome. And then you're not like, there's no impact on your joints, but you're still moving your body. I think
That's
that's
true.
pretty
That's the
cool.
same yeah, that's the same concept of chair exercises. You're still moving, but you're not putting any pressure on your joints. And that brings me to another thing, thank you, is water aerobics. Water aerobics, if you have that capability, I know our YMCA here in town actually has indoor water aerobics, phenomenal for those people who are overweight. Now, you do have some of those people that don't feel comfortable getting into a swimming pool or getting into a bathing suit, but it still is kind of a good option, and a lot of the people that take those classes are in the same boat as them. But I love the snow angel idea. Great,
Yeah.
great idea.
And
As long as that person is okay with getting up and down off the floor. I know that with my elderly and with my obese clients, sometimes just getting up and down off the floor is so hard that I would avoid floor exercises for that reason. It just depends on each client.
awesome. And water aerobics, I just have to add, is so much fun. I've gone and done that quite a few times, and it's just a blast.
Hmm.
Okay, cool.
I agree.
All right. Okay, so Julie, she is wondering, what do you think about the Everflex cream? Do you use that as well with the tablet?
I do. I use the Everflex cream. Um, and I don't use it all the time because I don't have severe issues. I take it as a maintenance, but I absolutely keep that Flex cream on hand for my children that are athletes. They have a sore knee. My stepson, he is in football and he gets just all kinds of he gets beat up. So I use that Everflex on his knees where his attachments are on the sides and everything because it gets so sore. So you could take that same concept and you could have somebody who has, say, rheumatoid, which is a severe type of arthritis, or someone who has just regular arthritis, and you could absolutely use that Everflex cream on that joint. And sometimes we just have shoulder pain from lifting too much weight the day before or having a tough exercise that we did the day before that we'd never done. So if it's in the joint, I would go Everflex cream. However, a lot of times it can be muscle related, and I use the Typhu gel. Love that stuff. I use it all the time on my husband and kids and clients.
I have
So,
to agree on that one. That the Thai food is awesome. I am a
yep.
big fan of that. So that's some great advice.
Mhm.
Okay, so here's a question. This comes from Adaniel. He is saying he knows that heart rate is very important, like you said, but is wondering if you can share a little bit more about stretching to prevent damage, and also maybe which products might aid with that.
Okay. Like I said, I think he might have asked that question before I went into the products, but the magnesium complex is definitely the one that I would recommend the most for staying, to helping your muscles to stay flexible. But we are so blessed in this day and age to have so many resources available to us online with the apps and everything. There are yoga apps out there too, and I do yoga twice a week, so I didn't really mention the yoga, and I should have. We just briefly touched over that in one of the slides, but staying flexible is absolutely one of the top things that you need to do in exercise. It's not just about heart rate, it's not just about strength training, it's also the flexibility. So I think that it's very important to, and some people though can't do yoga because again, they can't get down on the ground or they can't support their body weight on their hands, but any kind of flexibility. I even had my obese client sit on the edge of the chair and do stretches that way. So there's so many things that and stretches that you can do that don't require yoga either. So just staying flexible is so important. And the American College of Sports Medicine has a really nice website out there that you can Google, and they will actually show you pictures of how to do stretches and things. So that might be a good option for people who can't even do yoga. I hope I answered the question.
Yeah, no, that is great, and we've had some fabulous questions today and answers, and so because we're a little bit, I mean, we've got about 10 minutes left till we want to wrap things up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go over the few remaining slides. So, and then if there's any additional questions that we have time to cover, then we'll just cover those briefly right at the end, so that we make sure that we get everybody out of here on time. So. Awesome. If you'll just stay tuned, Nikki, I'm sure we'll have time for just a couple other questions right at the end.
Sure, no problem.
Okay, awesome. So just a couple of things before we wrap it up. I just wanted to let everybody know that our promotion that we had in January for starting a new group, that is being extended for February as well. So if you start a new group or another new group this month that has at least 5 new participants, you'll receive this really awesome product pack that is great for turning into little sample packets for new participants, or for sampling in your meetings, or for giving out as prizes. There's so many different ways that you can use it. So you get all the products that are right there on the screen. Plus you'll get 10 of the NSP Power Shakers, which if you haven't used one of those before, those are awesome to really mix up that protein powder well, and to take that on the go. And then also 10 reusable IN.FORM bags. So that's what our price package is as well for this month. I also just wanted to remind everybody one more time that we have a brand new IN.FORM Coach portal where you can record and track all of your groups. And so just a couple of the features that are part of that is you can, like I said, you can upload and manage your groups and your participants. You can see if you've qualified for the different promotions, like the Start Your Group promotion. It will let you know once you've qualified. You also can enter and track the bio-tracker data, including and seeing like little graphs so you can see the progress. You can recommend products for each participant and customize for what they need so that they can easily go to their version of the portal and place their orders. And you can access all the IN.FORM resources, so all the training webinars and downloads and the places to reorder supplies. That is all going to be really, really simple and easy to access on the portal. Oh, that wasn't advancing. Sorry about that. All right, and just as a reminder on how you get there, so if you go to naturesunshine.com, you will click on Members, and then IN.FORM and Coaches Portal, and you'll also need to log in before it will let you access any of that. So make sure you do that, and I really recommend that you all go out there and check it out if you haven't already. There's some really great new cool features, and it's going to be a really great tool for you to use. So, all right, so let's go back to the question. All right, so this is a question coming from Kim, and this is a question. He's wondering if we contact the participants that are added to the portal. Sorry, one second, we got a little bit of an echo. Do we contact the participants because you must enter an email address? So they do receive an email, well, a couple emails, and this is what they are. So they get a welcome email that gives them a link over to the portal so that they can access it. And then they also receive a weekly reminder of when their meeting is. So those are the only 2 emails that we ever send to them. So there are 2 there. And then Sarah asked a question. This one was also for me. Do we get to participate in the advanced IN.FORM training at convention for free? And the answer to that is yes, that's correct. So you actually can, and we strongly encourage all of you to come to the advanced training. It is going to be the day after convention ends. I believe that it is April 17th. Let me just double check that that's the right date. Yeah, April 17th. It's all day from 9 to 5. It's free to attend for any existing certified coach, and you really are not going to want to miss this because we have some really exciting things that we've been working on that I'm way excited that we get to announce at convention. And so we just really encourage you to be there so that you can come and see all of the great new things that we've been doing, and some exciting science that we've been working on. So we're really excited about that. Okay, and then let me just look at the questions one more time and see if there's any others that we missed. Okay, Nikki, so there's 2 different products that that people wondered about, and that was the Mineral Chi Tonic for balance, and then also the curcumin. Are those ones that you incorporate at all?
You know, the first one, no, but the curcumin, yes. I really like that one for inflammation, and I have my mom on that. but I don't use it myself because I'm already taking enough. So it comes to a point with me is what do I need more, and those are the ones I mentioned are. But curcumin is fabulous for inflammation, and my neighbor is battling. A disease. I don't want to say the disease, but he has to go through treatments, and the treatments cause major inflammation. So that curcumin has really helped him manage his pain during that time. And so anybody who has the major inflammation issues with exercise and the pain that's involved, curcumin can help. So good question.
So that's awesome to get your insights. And I know Mineral Chi also is a really great product, and I know several people that do incorporate that into exercise just because of the high mineral content. So that, of course, is a good one to try if that's something that you're interested in checking out. Let's see here. I I think we've got the majority. I mean, there's just been a couple of additional comments that I just want to share. There's just been comments like, this has been really helpful. Thank you so much for sharing. Awesome advice. Great presentation. We're getting all kinds of awesome comments about the presentation. It really was fantastic today, Nikki. So let's go ahead and just wrap things up for today. I just want to remind everyone that we have a webinar next week, as always we do every Tuesday. So mark your calendar to join us. That is on February 9th, and it will be at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And then I just want to thank Nikki again for joining us. It has been so great to have you, and we've all learned so much of how we can help our participants really accelerate their success with exercise. So thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me, Shandy. It was fun.
Thanks. And thank you to all of you for joining us today, and we will see you all next week. Have a great day.